all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Testing, 1, 2. Okay. So this is just a sample run, I guess. I just wanted to take a little video to take the time to talk about a film or show or reality TV. I don't know exactly what we're going to name it, but and I moved over here in 2018 to Lancaster, California, and you know, I've been driving semi trucks for like the past 26 years, and it's been good for me, but at the same time, I've been able to hold a secret as far as um, what I did on my home time, my off time. I used meth. I did drugs, and there was a time where I was having a bad trip, and I just wanted to get out of my mom's house because I was just felt like I was walking in on glass and pins and needles and feeling like I can't be on drugs and be in my mom's house. I need to go somewhere for safety, and I went to the Lancaster Inn, and because it was the cheapest place available, and that's when I first met, you know, um, I met someone that turned out to be a good friend of mine for like the next 8 years, and I went from being paranoid to just having 10 people in my room, all smoking and just talking and having a good time, and I went from being paranoid to just actually feeling like I had a family, or I had a that everything was okay, and it was okay to be a drug addict. It was okay to use drugs because I'm not alone. There's people there's people there with me that made me feel somewhat normal. And throughout the years, I've always I've always tried to keep my drug use private, and I didn't want my family to know. So my way of escaping was to go to this same hotel where I met these group of people, meet up with them, leak up with them, and just you know um, have fun and going gambling and tapping and ultimately when we ran out of money, we go we go do licks, and come up and I was always the type of person that thought that stealing was bad, and I was somewhat nervous, but like these friends that I met, and they have hustle, they have game, they know how to uh, they know how to make money, and I learned from them, and um, I would stick around until my time off was done, and I would go back to work. And to be honest with you, the road was my savior. It never allowed me to put myself 100% into the street life, but nevertheless, I had a love. You create a bond with these people and a love for them because they're of what they go through, of how hard it is um, to be able to support their drug addiction and support the everyday cost of getting a hotel room to providing food, clothing, shelter. I mean, when you think about it, it just costs a lot. I mean, these guys are dishing out so much money. It's ridiculous just to have a room. The average Joe pays for a room anywhere from, you know, $60 to $100 a day for a room. You do that every day of your life, it adds up. I mean, these guys are paying more than a house payment. But it's just fascinating how that need of whatever drug they do, it literally fuels them to a point that they get it done. And it's sometimes it's amazing how it's that they're able to get this done, and sometimes it's heartbreaking to see the when they fail, because when they fail, it it could be the last fail that they had, that literally breaks them to a point to where they become a victim of the streets and a statistic where they get caught up and you don't see them for a while. Luckily, so um, so I've always wanted to bring this to life to where, you know, I can show, you know, the public of what goes on uh, as far as being a drug addict is concerned, to in hopes that maybe, you know, if we can educate our youth and keep them on the right track. Because to be honest with you, you know, when you're introduced to a drug, it's a bad thing, you know. Unfortunately, you know, children have to be well managed and looked out for all the way until they're an adult. It's like when a child is given the opportunity to venture off on their own and accidentally come across a drug through peer pressure or through whatever it might be, it literally changes their whole life. And it's something that they didn't want or ask for, but it happens. And 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 this documentary is is showing you what happens um, in a place that we call the Shadows, and it's the last hotel in a strip of hotels in the Antelope Valley. And what's crazy is that, you know, the homeless crisis and all the pandemic, when the pandemic hit, it was like a major concern uh, for the state of California and for Los Angeles County to get the homeless off the street to prevent the spread of COVID. And what I don't understand is, if that's true, then why are you shutting down these hotels and making it worse for people? Well, I mean, some of the hotels that shut down, they turn them into homeless shelters, you know, but the qualifications in order to be a tenant at some of these places are uh, is you have to have your children, there's certain things that you have, but nevertheless, it has corralled the people that are from the streets to this one homeless, or this one hotel, you know. And this hotel is somewhat famous. I mean, there's been people that have been interested by it, that have heard of it, that have been told that there's money to be made here because um, of word of mouth. And from what I'm told, a couple famous people even came over here just to experience staying there. And and you know, I know about it, and know of it, and it's fun. You know, so it could be fun, but it can get crazy too. Like, shit can get crazy, people can get hurt, and it's all about how you carry yourself as far as your street credibility and all that. And But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the time to invest in some good quality stuff, and make somebody who was once um, a prospect, uh, up and coming prospect, who I believe has a very good mentality, a good way of thinking. He's a righteous individual. Um, he's very smart, and I want to be able to use him as an anchor, to to um, to show the world of what it's like to be a drug dealer and a drug addict. So that's the whole get down that we're aiming for, and I hope that me being the person to showcase this, I hope that God gives us favor, and whoever is in the filming, and gives you the raw, uncut version, so that way you can see what it's like. So, with that being said, I mean, you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna do the best I can to narrate this and to bring you useful information that you can learn from more than anything. Over and out.